Hi people. To start off, my story will be taking place after the gates have already been opened. I decided to not try and go for Scarab Lord. Even though it would have been nice to have a big black bug to ride around on, I felt like I'd rather keep my girlfriend and my health. Also, I did not really have a guild that would have been bothered to carry me through the chain, and also I was no part of the coalition, so I guess I never really had to make a decision in the first place. Regardless, I would of course have made the exact same decision, even if I did have an actual chance to go for Scarab Lord. Absolutely, very definitely. After only 2 quests or so into the chain, the game asks you to kill 17,000 bugs. And while asking this, it attempts to hold a straight face, but always bursts into an edgy teenage guy giggle. I was not going to let this quest get the best of me, however. Luckily, I had developed a huge IQ from viewing every Rick and 40, I don't know why I wrote 40, I mean Morty, episode, and using this Nobel Prize quality logical thinking, I realized that there was an easier way to get the required reputation. And by realize, I mean that someone told me how to do it. So, because I stayed up for 38 hours during the 10-hour war, I managed to grind all the required reputation. Oh, and about the 38 hours, so basically the war started at about 22:45 server time or 10:45 PM, and so I didn't sleep that night cause the 10-hour war went on through the night, and then I kinda stayed up till 3 AM the day after. I felt like I had went to tiredness and beyond, or like I went to the basement of a house and then descended below that, whatever, just to see what's below. I was not nearly as tired as I thought I would be, and I kind of wanted to stay up for even longer, just to see what would happen. But I didn't, and that was probably a good thing. I rationalized this behavior to myself by saying that if I stay up for 24 hours, I'm guaranteed to head to bed early the next evening because I'll be so tired. I might have even believed that for a short period of time. Anyway, as the 10-hour war was reaching its end, I had gained full neutral with the Brood of Nostormo, so I went for the next part of the chain. The next part is a RP quest by the Gates of AQ, in which the event, when the gates was closed, is being replaced. By this time, Biggs mobs were spawning at the gates, and people were probably not too happy with the gate getting shut again for a minute or two. Oh well, I'm sure they were already irritated from no sleep, so I'm sure their moods didn't change as much as it just deepened. So with the rep done, and with that quest done, I went to Mr. Big Yellow Boy in Tanaris, and I was awarded a very good Boomkin ring, and the chance to continue the chain. I had to go have a chat with Mr. Stormrage in Sunken Temple. I asked why I hadn't gotten my Stormrage chest despite killing Nephi like 20 times. Instead of answering me, he told me to head to Darnassus, apparently completely unaware of how the factions are a thing and how night elves kill tyrants for big game. It is also possible that he was fully aware of this and that is why he sent me. On my way to Darnassus, I went to have a chat with the big blue boy of Ashara. As I found his ghost strolling about and initiated conversation, he seems to know why I had came. Or came. Anyway, he was also very smug about it. The thought of how much trouble he has made sure I will have to go through to obtain the blue crystal probably made him very happy. It's really worth talking about the meeting you have with them. I confirmed that I was after the blue shard and he explained that it didn't have it on him anymore. He then further taunted me to ask where it was. And so I did. And he said he had given it the blue shard, that is, to a fish. More specifically, a minnow. Now, being a psychology student, I ran some tests and diagnosed him as insane. Turns out you need to make the most expensive possible boyo to summon the fish. I also specifically asked, but it seems that you don't have to do this naked during a solar eclipse on a leap year, I think. He never really denied the solar eclipse on a leap year thing. Finally, he told me to go see a gnome down in Tanaris. Before I had the chance to ask him what kind of magical things he had been smoking while in Ashara, He said good day and waddled away. Also, during all this time, I'd had a hippogriff nibble my butt. After a short stop in the land of the blue crystals, I was on my way to Darnassus again, and on the way I ran into a special boy who accompanied me to the big tree. I may or may not have abandoned him on the shores of Teldersil later on. And while we were waiting for the boat, we harassed a guard just trying to do her job. Once I had made my way through the elven treehouse, I kind of teleported away and left this dude on the beach. I know, however, that he's an adult and he could take care of himself. Now, while in Moonglade, the half-horse, half-human, 1/10 tree keeper Remulus gave me a quest which is apparently about as annoying as bug fixing a JavaScript. I have no idea what that's like, by the way. So next up, I headed to the place which gets you sand everywhere, Tanaris, and I met the gnome madman. Turns out he was a sensible gnome and concluded that he would work with me as long as I brought him a reasonable amount of chicken, 500 pounds to be precise, from a prehistoric creature that no longer exists. The chicken quests had to wait, however, because it was time for BWL, which would hold a few rewards for me. First off, I would be experiencing almost 2 wipes on the Farian. Secondly, I'd get my red shard. And finally, after trying to get it for 2 phases, I'd be rewarded with my Storm Rage chest. Maybe Malfurion did actually listen to me after all. After BWL, I went down to Silithus and turned in the red shard. And so, another milestone of the quest chain was finished. And this is where the first part of my journey will end. The next part should be coming soon. In the coming one, we will, among many things, talk about stuffs that smell like fish. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to like and maybe join the Discord where you can ask questions, make suggestions, and see what I'm currently working on. You can also check out my stream over at twitch.tv/NeceriumClouds. Anyway, this was all for now. Until next time, see ya!